With Congo's grooviest, Congo's funkiest. We're with Miles from Kinshasa. If I'm entitled. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. It's a mad moment, man. Connecting with your fans like that is, man. It's a crazy moment still.
Miles from Kinshasa. You're Congolese. Tu parles français un peu?
Bien sûr.
When was the last time you went Congo?
I went to Congo a day after I released the first ever Miles from Kinshasa song. When I went there, I didn't try to go there and find any sort of like realization. It was just that I want to go see my family. I want to see where my mum is from. I want to see all them, man. And I want to see how privileged I am to be where I'm from.
I know you were in a duo, but right. I actually looked for the music.
Okay.
And I went YouTube and typed in Men Amongst Boys. I found some weird videos that we're not gonna get into. So what kind of sound was that? Was that a lot different to what we hear now, or was it kind of similar?
Miles from Kinshasa doesn't exist without Men Amongst Boys, because Men Amongst Boys was me and my friend just going, hey, let's just put out something, no pressure, see what it does. Put it out. And we were just having fun in the studio. In studio, you know when something is sick, but when it comes to putting it out, sometimes you put a lot of pressure on yourself for it to do something. We just put it out, and we're just like, hey, let's put it out. And people fucked with it. And what that taught me was to just do what I want to do when it comes to the music. Literally, that blueprint is what I've taken onto Miles from Kinshasa, and that's why I'm just so carefree with it still. I've always produced from the minute I began making music, but obviously, as when you start something, you're not great at it or whatever. And I would say that Men Amongst Boys was the moment where my production met what I can do vocally at the same level. That was the level where it was like, alright, cool, I can actually be a producer, artist, have enough like confidence in my production to be like, hey, I'm gonna put this out and I don't care what anyone thinks. I know it's sick. I know that I love it, and that's all that matters, really, still.
How do you find the balance as an artist between keeping an ear to what's out there, but also trying not to let that infect your sound?
I think you just have to know yourself, because like, if you know yourself, you can go into the studio, make a banger, and be like, that doesn't represent me. And like, people do that on a daily basis because they want to make money, so their intentions are different. Like, I know my intentions in this game is to come out here and to leave some sort of legacy. Like I was saying on stage, just for that other black weird youth from ends that listens to like pop instead of listening to the rap or the grime that everyone else was listening to on ends. It's for that youth there to be like, alright, cool, you know what, he done it, I can definitely do it, type of thing. So that's where it comes from. It just depends on your intentions, really, still. That's where it is, still.
It's something you really do hear in the music. You hear the freedom, and I'm not gonna hit the vocals. I don't want to show him up, but
no, you don't.
I don't want to show him up, but when you hear stuff like that, you hear freedom.
Yeah.
You hear Amanda's really just doing him. They sent this man from the 80s, from back in the day, to come and live in this day and time.
You know what?
How would you describe your time?
That's exactly it. I wouldn't say I was born in the wrong era, but I feel like I could have been born in the 80s or before and had grown up in the 80s, because like the 80s are similar to now, simply because in the 80s there was so much technology, especially musically, that was coming out. So synths were new. Like, all that stuff was new. That's why if you listen to a lot of synths that were made in the 80s, even if you play it now, it almost sounds like it's in 2040. Because, like, the energy behind it, you could tell that they were just looking forwards, kind of thing. So nowadays, music is just 4-bar loops, because a lot of the people that are making the music don't go and do their research about older music. And the thing is, even to go forwards, all these people that have made forward-thinking music, Pharrell, Timbaland, all these guys that have taken it forwards, always studied the guys before them, so that you know your thing, so that when you come out with your thing, it's like you've given people a little bit of familiarity. It's like, that gives me a feel of like the 70s, the 80s, whatever, but you've introduced your new thing as well. So I think it's important to have a respect for the people that came before us, because them lot were ridiculously talented, bro.
If you was to pick an old school five-a-side, a groovy five-a-side of artists, I know it's a tough one. It's a
I
tough
got the two
one.
white boys already. Phil Collins, George Michael, straight away.
Collins.
Them two. Phil Collins is my dream collab. If I could ever have a collab in this life, it would be Phil Collins. I know he's somewhere in Chiswick in West London, just chilling. But that,
We're in West right now.
you know, like word. He's somewhere in Chiswick. But I would say George Michael, Phil Collins, Prince, Franco Mwamba, he's Congolese. That's like my guy. And this is so hard, bro. Do you know what? I would say Quincy, because it's Michael and Quincy. That's why it worked so much. So I might even say Quincy still. Yeah.
That is such a strong 5. In a day and age where it's so hard to cut through all that noise online, what would you say to those people that are trying to cut through all that noise? And how have you managed to
respect the process, man. Respect the process. Like, you might start out trying to do your own thing and it's like, oh, this is dead. Like, this is dead. I may as well do what them are not doing because that works. But it's like, it's not about seeing someone do well and being like, that's the way to do it. That's like, I think that's the worst thing you could ever do just in life in general, because your thing is never gonna be the same as someone else's, bruv. It's just never gonna be that. So I feel like when people are doing this, the whole like sort of copying thing or whatever, cool, it might work, but you need to ask yourself, like, if you want to be here for long. Because if you want to be here for long, that's not gonna cut it, bruv, because you're just gonna get the fans that are just floating about when they hear that sound. If you make your own thing, like, I'm pretty sure that my fans that came here today, I'm gonna have them for years. Like, one of them came from Paris, one of them came from like the Netherlands, love. One of them came from the Netherlands, and I was like, rah, that's mad. You flew out. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you need to ask yourself what you want. That's what I'm saying. If your intentions are really to have a legacy and create something, cultivate something real, and them man will stick with you forever, and no one can take that away from you, ever. When you make something that's truly yours and unique and people connect with it, that's like, again, like I was saying, no one can take that away from you, ever. No one can ever say you sounded like this, man, or you did this or whatever. Just like, have intentions where like you want to have your thing, your set thing, like a real thing, and just follow it. It might take years. Like, there's no, like, I can't guarantee that it'll be 2-3 years or whatever, but when you have your own thing, bro, no one can take that away from you, bro. Ever, still.
Thank you, Miles. Merci beaucoup, mon gars.